Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Velkommen alle sammen. I would like to thank you all for coming and celebrating our special day with us. Rumi and I really appreciate you being here. Takk for at dere er kommet for å dele denne spesielle dagen med oss. Vi setter virkelig pris på at dere er her. Thank you for the support, wishes and gifts. We know you have all had a long trip to get here, some longer than others, except Nigel, who lives here in York. Very convenient. I think about half of you don't even live here in England, so it's quite international. Me and my wife have had some nice memories from York. It is where we had our first trip outside of London together in March 2016. It's also a very beautiful city with a lot of interesting history, especially Viking history. If there's something I can't get enough of, it's Viking history. Veselina and Mitko, thank you for welcoming me into your home and for making me feel a part of the family from day one. I've learned a lot about the proud history of Bulgarians from our trips to various archaeological sites. And I've eaten a lot of interesting Bulgarian food, which I would never have done otherwise. Thank you to my parents, Astrid and Olaf. You've given me the best upbringing I could have had. But looking at Rumi, it was always going to be a tough challenge to capture her. But it seems to have worked. And thank you to my best man, which I met many years ago while working for a video games company in London. Paul, you taught me to be British with your silly humor. We've been sharing a flat together for more than 5 years, I think, and the many experiences we've had together over those 5 years. Ben, you've taught me to love Manchester United. From our frequent 8 to 10 hour trips to Manchester to watch a 2-hour game. Both of you have had a large influence on my life after I came to Splash Damage when I was 21 years old. Rumi, you look beautiful today. Like every day, I want everyone here to know how lucky I feel to have met you, and how lucky I am to be with you. I love you in so many ways, and for so many reasons, you make me a better person. So ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding and raise a glass to my wife, Mrs. Hallingstad.
You can all sit down. My turn to say a few words to welcome you here in York. Добре дошли. Velkommen. We feel very fortunate and lucky to have so many of you with us today. And thank you for traveling from far and near to be with us. You might still be wondering why we picked York as the destination to get married. We're not from here, we're not born here, but it was the first city that we visited as a couple about 4 years ago, and we really had a great time, and I think this is where we fall really in love. So there is a legend that the couple that kisses underneath the Yorkshire heart will stay together forever. And I didn't know that, but Arne read it somewhere. And then he literally dragged me to that window. So we kept circulating in the cathedral, looking for it. And then we found it. So I think that was the moment I knew I've met true love, and we'll stay together no matter what. And as many of you might know, we spent 2.5 years separated, living, me in London and Arne in California. So it was really tough, but we had support, and it opened opportunities for us to travel and meet in amazing places such as Mexico, Iceland, New York, to name a few. So we share the passion of traveling. And I think I wouldn't have been able to really sustain a long-distance relationship if it wasn't for my childhood, where my dad, he's a captain, and he travels a lot. So at times he will spend 6 or maybe more months abroad. So I think that's really helped me to appreciate that despite distance, true feelings prevail and love can carry on, even if you don't see each other as often as you would like to. So I'd like to thank my parents for raising me to be the woman I am today, for giving me all the love and support that I needed, for encouraging me to go and study abroad, because otherwise I wouldn't be in the UK and I wouldn't meet Arne, and none of this will be possible. So I think they've given me a lot of courage and support in my life, so I'd like to say a big thank you to my parents. And then moving on to also Arne's parents, I would like to thank them for bringing him up to be a great and wonderful, very caring person that makes my life complete. And I also have a few more relatives that I'd like to share a few special words. My brother, for making my childhood years really fun, challenging. We used to kind of fight occasionally, but truly, you're my little brother. And also my cousin, who did my makeup and hair today. So I feel very privileged to have had special help from her. And then also my auntie and uncle, who traveled from Varna to be with us today. And sadly, the one person I'm missing in this room is my granny, but she couldn't travel. So we're taking a video recording so we can say hi to her, even though she's not with us today. And my bridesmaids, 6 of them, all beautiful and gorgeous. Thank you for being with me on this journey, for organizing my 2 hen-dos. So I only had 0. Okay, that needs to be corrected. Okay, but I did, have fun on my 2 hen-dos, one in London and one in Plovdiv in Bulgaria, and they were amazing girl nights with a lot of fun. So I really appreciate having those special moments with my girls. And then also thanking my university friends from London, coming from all the way from America and Germany. So glad to bring so many people that we've crossed paths today or in the past, and really fun friendships. But enough with the talking. I think it's time for a warm meal, so we can all get some energy, because there will be more dancing and fun later on today. So raise your glasses. Skål. Na zdravé. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right, silence for the father of the bride.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to follow Rumi Arne and Olaf, and to continue by welcoming you here all, and to thank you for coming here and to celebrate this very special and happy occasion, the marriage of our daughter Rumi to Arne Olaf. It really is great to see so many people from different places around the globe gathered together for such special occasion, the marriage of our daughter Rumi to Arne Olaf. Thank you. Once again, I would like to thank you to those of you who have had a long and difficult journey, and I know it means a great deal to Rumi and Arne Olaf that you are here with them today. Especially, I don't need to mention any names, as all of you are friends for life. Every wedding is a special, of course, but to see my daughter get married is something else. Rumi, our walk down the aisle this early afternoon is a memory which I shall cherish. You look absolutely beautiful in your stunning wedding dress. Thank you. Growing up, Rumi was a lovely kid, keen to learn. Her mother, first helper, boldly forged to the big world. For the first time, I met Arne Olaf on the Christmas Eve 2018 when the Rumi introduced him to me. One moment. Okay. May I say that we could not wish, today I am very pleased to say that Arne Olaf officially became our son-in-law. And may I say that we could not wish for better son-in-law. Who would not want one who has a great sense of humor, is amiable, smart, courteous, kind, considerate, hardworking, and charming. In short, a gentleman. So, dear friends, I believe I don't need to convince you. You can stay just for a while in their company and to realize that they are best friends as well as soulmates. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, could you please raise your glass to the bride and groom, Rumi and Arne Olaf. Cheers. На здравие.
Thank you.
First I will say something, and after that I will show some pictures. And then you have to turn around, but not for the moment. My wife, Astrid, and I are very happy to be here today to celebrate the wedding of Rumi and Arne Olav, and to meet Rumi's family for the first time, and your closest friend around here. I've seen some of you in London before. Our family consists of my wife and 3 children. I will show pictures of them later on, and you can see how they've grown up and a bit older now. But my main focus will be on Arne Olav, so I will tell you something about him. And maybe other sides, I'm not sure. Arne Olav is what you call the afterthought, being respectively 10 and 8 years younger than his sister and brother. In childhood and teenage years, I will tell you, start from when he was a baby. He was very quiet and happy, sucking on his thumb, taking it out and smiling. And giving us all great enjoyment. And he had a speciality, he could whistle. And I can still remember when he visited his grandpa in the hospital, and they had a great time whistling to one another, and he was only 10 months old. So that was an achievement. Arne Olav, like his brother, has always been very fond of playing football. And I regret to this day that I let the battery on my video camera go empty just before he scored from 50 meters in football match for boys, leaving the event undocumented for future generations. For most football players, injuries are a common consequence. And in 2003, you got a meniscus operation on the knee. But that was not a catastrophe. When you a couple of months later were examined for liability of military service, they judged you unfit and told you they would call you up later. And now, 17 years later, you are still not called up. So let us hope you don't get the letter before or during your wedding trip to New Zealand, spoiling it. As a youth, I cannot remember that you ever gave rise to any concern. But I can remember that your mother especially gave you an advice about spending a bit less time playing on the computer. Gaming programming was not considered to be a viable occupation from 20 years ago from parents. But I think that was your ambition even then. As an adult, you have been impressive, goal-oriented since upper secondary school. And the goal has been to be a game programmer. And in January of 2007, after studies at the University of Oslo, you moved to London and started working at Splash Damage. And I think you enjoyed working there, and you got a lot of friends who are here today. After your brother was transferred from Google in Norway to Google in California, you two made plans for moving to the United States and maybe joining him there. In 2016, you got a job at Blizzard in Irvine, but you still had a dream about working at Google in California. But it should not be Google in California, because you just a few months before moving to Irvine fell in love with Rumi. And that was a bad timing, falling in love, moving 8,768 kilometers away. But after a bit more than 2 years, you finally reach the goal of your life, reuniting with Rumi in London and starting to work at Google. Arne Olav has always been open about his experiences and plans, giving Astrid and me full briefing via Skype on Sunday evenings. That we have appreciated, and we hope you will continue doing that. Rumi visited us for the first time at Christmas in 2016, I believe. And we fell in love with you. You are gentle, lively, clever, and generous. So all respect to your parents who have brought you up this way. We are very proud and happy to tell everybody here that you now also belong to our family. Then I will give a toast before presenting some pictures. So let us toast to Rumi and Arne Olav. Then we have a problem. Half of you have to turn 180 degrees. So this is our family on the highest mountain in Norway. 2,000, how much?
469.
Yes. It's not that high, but it's the highest in Norway. And there we have you at about 2 years. He was a happy boy. Making mommy very happy. And here, Ingunn happy. She's singing for him. Håkon is here telling a joke. And Arne Olav like that joke. And here is the first step on his own to the left, and growing more self-confidence to the right. And here he looks exactly like his dad on the sofa. And this is tips to Rumi. Crunchy oat makes him thoughtful. And here I have some problem with the deck chair. So this is on the 17. Mai to the left. He liked national costumes even then. And then about 8, and to the right he is 15 years old. To the left he slide past the curtain, miss the shadow of the ball, and here he get it. And to the left, his famous knee, newly operation. And to the right, he's leaving for the test in the military, which the knee saved him from. So here Arne Olav's interest in computers started early, but maybe game programming was not on his mind for the moment. He also considered becoming a chimney sweeper. But he realized he must start on his education, so this is the first day in school. So he is more advanced at the gaming computer, and he is tipping his chair. And every dad will tell him that that's not allowed. He makes marks in the floor. And gaming with some friends in the basement. To the left, it's 2003. And it's just before he going in to start studying. And to the right, 2007, he's leaving for London on the 2nd of January. So he started in splash damage with 2 screens. And later on, he managed 5. And then he could move on to Blizzard, where he again only had 2 screens. And finally, reaching his goal, starting in Google in London. And this is the first time Rumi visits us in Norway. And that was Christmas in 2016. And here Rumi is eating her favorite, maybe? Favorite food? That's lutefisk, which is dried cod soaked in a lye solution before boiling to give a gelatinous consistence. And here we have a critical moment, and it's for Seinfeld and George fans. Rumi is licking the envelope for the wedding invitation in September of 2019. And some of you will know that George's fiancée did not make it after doing that. She got poisoned by too old glue on the envelopes. So here they realize potential danger. But they made it. So here they are. And some of you will believe Arne Olaf has not been dancing waltz before, but that's not true. So he showed us how to do it then, and will show us how to do it today. Thank you.
So, hi. I'm going to say välkommen allesammen and dobre doški vsiški. That's as far as I can go, but it's really great that everyone came from so far for these two amazing people. It's really nice to see so many happy faces here. But I just want to talk a bit more about Arne after I met him in London. So we've had the kind of history of Arne's upbringing, which is amazing. But I met Arne about 14 years ago. It sounds like a lot longer than I thought it was, but yeah, I keep calling him Arne. Everyone in London just calls him Arne because I don't think they know how to pronounce Arne Olaf, but hopefully you'll forgive me for that. So I'll just focus on the Arne that I know from when he moved to London. We both started living together in an apartment because we both started working at the same company around the same time. We liked the same kind of computer games, stuff like that. So it was really cool to start hanging out with Arne. And he seemed very much like the classic Scandinavian type, you know, quiet, sensible, friendly, but he kind of keeps himself to himself a lot of the time. He stayed in his room a lot, and he lived like a monk. He had very simple arrangements. All he needed was his computer and his computer desk, and a mattress on the floor was his bed. So that's all you need when you're Arne, or at least at that time. And for some reason, an endless supply of Haribo candy and sweets. I don't think I've ever seen anyone eat that much candy and still be able to function as a healthy human. So he runs a lot. That's how he does it. And actually, now that I think about it, I never saw Arne ever cook anything. I saw him get takeaway and obviously eating the Haribo, but I never saw him in the kitchen. And Arne, actually, maybe you remember this. One time you managed to order a takeaway pizza and customized it, but ended up with a pizza which had no cheese, no tomato sauce, nothing on top of it except dry roast chicken. So it was basically just a pizza base with chicken, and he still sat there and ate it, and he was like, it's so dry. But I mean, I've never seen anyone else able to do something like that, so Arne really is one of a kind. Rumi, you're very lucky. And you know that old saying, men are from Mars, women are from Venus? I think in this relationship, they kind of want to turn it around because Arne actually wants to go to Mars. I don't think the technology's quite there yet, and I'm not sure if Rumi wants to go to Venus. No, maybe not, but watch out for that. He might try to jump on a rocket one day. Yeah, keep him on Earth. That's a good plan. But basically, many years ago, I would say, from his living like a monk and not cooking anything, he kind of had an epiphany, and he told me one day that what life is all about is experiences. And that really stuck with me, because I think he's right. Like, great experiences are what remain with you for the rest of your life. And that's why I think it's perfect that he's met Rumi now, because as you saw from the photos on the shelf out there, like, they've been together for 4 years now, but they've already done more amazing adventures than I can keep track of. They've been to more places than I know. It's amazing. And the energy that they share is just fantastic. So I can really see the way that being with Rumi enriches Arne's life and enriches both of their lives, and they really complement each other well. So I'd like to raise a glass and toast to Arne and Rumi, and to toast to their amazing future experiences.
So thanks everyone, and I have the honor to speak in the name of the bridesmaids, and I can say all the friends that know Rumi a little better more than Arne, although from what I hear and what I've seen for the last 4 years, there's so much alike, and you can see it on the pictures as well, and I'm really happy about it. That was probably the first thing that I and most of the girls, you know that girls talk whenever you meet someone and you are falling in love with. Yeah, we are like, do you think this is the right one? And do you think this one will be the one? And we were so sure about them, just from the way she looks, and not speaking about all the sweet tooth that they both share, that's for sure. That's really something that they have in common. And that love of adventure. And you know that the saying is love is a journey, and they can prove that. They've been to so many things together, not just the experiences and all the travels and holidays they took. They are really full of energy in everything that they are doing, and that passion about and over planning in some cases. But they managed to do that, and they managed to then even get more than everything that they've overplanned, and that's something that I really respect. And the other thing that I admire Rumi for is the way she packs her luggage. I don't know whether you've seen her wedding luggage, but it fits in the hand luggage of a low-cost airline, but even the low-cost that they only allow you to carry on a purse, and she takes her whole baggage for a week. But the thing is that she just knows what's important in life, and I think that's the way also she's planning, and they are both living together. They don't need. And that fits a lot to the monk lifestyle that you mentioned. They don't really need much. They have the love, and that's what they care, and they have it for all of us, and they show it. And it's really an honor to be a friend of them, and you know that you always have a special place and time, which that's the other thing that I admire. And in her, she always finds the time, and she always shows her love. So love each other and take that time for you, and just just let us enjoy that and see that. Thank you.